Alrighty. Friday stream time. I need coffee. So this week, I am going to be checking out DocsPress. If you have never heard of DocsPress, you can go to docs.press, go check it out there. This was actually developed by a colleague of mine. I hope I'm going to say his name right, Fati. He is from Turkey. He recently joined our team at Automatic as a developer advocate. And he's working on a whole bunch of cool stuff. He released a whole bunch of cool stuff already. He released something for plugin developers a while back. And now he's released something that I'm quite excited about because it is a way to keep your docs in Markdown and then publish to Gutenberg pages. So essentially, if you have a look at something like, let's just do this, not me. If you have a look at something like Gutenberg, Gutenberg has a docs folder and all of the, hey Gajendra, weird, my chat thing is not working, my overlay. Try and add it again. Don't know why that's stopped working. I normally get a chat notification at the top of my teleprompter. When people leave a message, I'll write a test message here. No, it's not working today. That's frustrating. Okay. I'm going to have to do without that today. Wonder if I close Camera Hub. Sorry, folks, I'm going off on a tangent here. Okay, let's open it again. Okay, let's see if it works now. Very early today. Yeah, I've been streaming earlier lately, just because of my life and the way things go in my life. Okay, it looks like the chat's working now, so let's go from there. Okay, so what was I saying? Oh yes, so Gutenberg Docs, the block editor handbook, is stored inside of a docs folder inside of the Gutenberg repo. And then if you go to the block editor handbook, which I can't spell today, then the docs is synced straight from here to here. But at the moment, this is something that is a little bit complicated because number one, you have to commit changes to the repository. You can't edit the page here, for example. It takes you, they've actually got like a whole thing set up. Hey, Cameron, welcome, welcome, welcome. They've got a whole thing set up which doesn't allow you to edit this page in the WordPress editor. You have to go and edit it in the GitHub repository and then submit a pull request. Not a bad thing, but it does mean that people who aren't comfortable with GitHub can't make changes. And so what Fati has created is essentially this thing that publishes the Gutenberg pages and then allows you to carry WordPress edits back to GitHub as a reviewable pull request. So I have worked in environments where the docs were hosted in WordPress, but they were stored in Markdown. And we used to have this whole process of sticking the working doc in a Google Drive, because then you had collaboration functionality, which in WordPress we've now got the notes feature, so you could start doing it there. But then I used to have to pull that back from Google Docs into the Markdown file to commit it to the repository, and then from there copy it back up to the WordPress site. So this, theoretically, using AI, aims to fix all that. So today, what I thought I would do is I'm going to take my little multi-agent project that I've got, which is this. It has a whole bunch of docs in the docs folder. And so what I want to do is I want to connect that up to DocsPress and to a WordPress site and see what it does, see how it works. So to do that, I've got this test domain that I've had for a number of years now. That's the wrong one. Hang on. No, that is the right one. Why is? Oh, there we go. So this, I've had this domain for a while. I've been thinking about trying to build the domain out with just some of the apps that I've built. I got the first one in, and then that was as far as it went. This is something that I built for my kid a while back. It's a little time-stable tester app. And I want to add a few of the other apps that I built into this page. So I'm going to use this site, and I'm going to connect it up to the Concilium project, and I'm going to see what it does, see how it works, see if I can break it. So that's the plan. So I'm just going to log in here quickly. I think I have my password saved somewhere here. There we go. Okay, so that works. This is hosted on Pressable, in case you're interested. So let's close that, and there's my repo. Okay, so here is my... Okay, so let's see how this works. So let's start with Explore AI Ready Docs. DocsPress can publish documentation tree for people and AI tools. Okay, so there's a... There you can discover the documentation. Okay, so there's a couple of options. You can publish existing docs, connect an existing Markdown documentation tree to WordPress without allowing an unreviewed workflow from it. Okay, so that's kind of where I think we want to start. You're going to run your first synchronization, existing Markdown to WordPress. Okay, there are some agent skills. Okay, you can create docs with AI. So that's kind of cool. If there's time, maybe we can try that. So let's start with, this is an existing doc. So let's start with an existing doc. So use DocsPress install to inspect the repository, reuse existing Markdown and prepare. Okay, so there's the prompt. So I can just copy this. Oh, okay, cool. That's sweet. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use Concilium to set up Concilium. So this is my little multi-agent dashboard that I built for myself. So let's go over to that repository. There it is. And I just want to check that I've got the latest version of the code. Okay, I made some changes. Don't know what I did there, but I made some changes. Okay, so then let us copy the prompt. And let's tell this thing to start. Yes, it's fine. Okay, let's see what this does. Hopefully you all can read that. The font is pretty small. So it looks for DocsPress install. I wonder, do I need to install something for this to work? Oh, there's actually a recommended sequence here. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. think I need to install the agent skills first. Yeah, looks like I need to do that first. Okay, so let's do that. I'm going to stop this. And I'm going to install the agent skills first. Wait, before I do that, see something. Yeah, okay, I'm inside of. Okay, so npx skills add minus mass or full depth. Guess that's okay. Probably adding a bunch of skills. Okay. Okay, so it's added it to this repository. It's fine. Okay, so that's that. And then npm skills list just to check it. Oh, npx. Stupid. npx skills list. Okay. So that seems fine. So that's what we need to do first. And then see, authenticate WordPress. Run your first synchronization. So I feel like the install the skills first should be first. I feel like this needs to be fixed. I'll leave a note about that. So I'm going to just bring my notes over here. Right. Quick setup steps, install skills, then authenticate, then run sync. I'm guessing that's the way it needs to be. So I feel like, okay, so I feel like this page, we should move the prerequisites up. And see, this makes me think I can do this from the word go. So I feel like this should be moved down. I should prerequisites first. So it's in docs, that's fine. WordPress site, yeah, permission. Okay. Okay, we'll get to that. Okay, install the skills, then authenticate WordPress, yeah. So and then run the synchronization. So I think this, we should definitely have the prerequisites in the recommended sequence first. I suppose I could submit that as a change, but anyway, okay. Let's go back. So we've done the agent skills. Ask the agent, inspect, before change, reuse, prepare manual try, rough run. Do I need to do that? So I've installed the skills. So let's do this. Let's ask the agent to inspect. We might need to reload skills. And then Okay. Let's do that and see what that does. Okay, so it finds the docs directory. It's fairly decent. Obvious. Docs are usable, no need for general docs. It's kind of cool that it has that option. So if your code doesn't have docs, it'll actually generate them for you. I'm trying to think if I have any repositories that don't have docs. I'm like a write the docs guy, so it's very rare that my stuff doesn't have docs. Cosmic Defender might not have docs. Yeah, Cosmic Defender is maybe a good option. Let's see if WP Mail has docs. WP Mail doesn't have docs. I wonder if WP Debug has docs. Oh, okay. Debug doesn't have docs, so we could use that. I guess I never really expected these to be used widely, so I didn't write docs for them. I usually write docs for everything, or get the agent to do a first version. Anyway, where were we? Okay, so this is running some things. Let's see if we can get a feel for what it's doing, if anything. Doesn't seem to have created anything yet. Oh, it looks like it's actually oh, there's DocsPress install. Let's see the skills. Doesn't look like it's created anything yet. Okay, here we go. Which WordPress target should the singular point to pick the platform and then use other to give me exact domain, which I can't infer for the repo. Okay. So self-hosted WordPress. DocsPress Actions latest release was never published in NPM. I'm going to copy this as a comment and go, I don't know, what should I do there? And that's not what I want. I thought I copied it. I don't know. I guess I'll go with the recommended path. Do you want the companion DocsPress theme and blocks plugin prepared? Neither is required. No WordPress state changes beyond pages. You can add the reading experience later once the draft sync looks right. I don't care. Let's do the theme. Let's do the theme. Let's see what it does. I don't care if the site gets changed. I'll be curious to see what it does. Okay, docs are usable. Okay. Login verified. Self-hosted domain has the workflow has replaced me. Confirm your site. Okay, so that we got to set up. Access token is not set. Okay. Okay. The GitHub workflow sync docs. Commit and push the workflow. Dispatch the workflow with dry run. Flip dry run. Okay. So that all seems to work fine. Verify installation. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Okay, so now we need to authenticate WordPress. So there's two ways you can do this. The one way is if you're hosting WordPress.com, you can create a WordPress.com app and set all of that up. Maybe I'll do that if there's time later. I want to do this on self-hosted WordPress. So it says you set WordPress URL to the site origin. Without that, DocsPress will call that and send that. Core WordPress does not create that bearer token for DocsPress. Configure a trusted authentication mechanism that accepts it and store the resulting token as that. I'm going to guess that we can use an application password for this. If we can. So hang on a sec. If it is, it's using REST, it's using the REST API, so I'm going to assume application password. It would be a good idea to mention this in the docs. So I'm going to say application password for self-hosted WordPress. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do that off screen so you guys don't steal that. So now I need to remember how to set my application passwords. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this off screen. I'm going to set up a new instance of admin there so I can do both. Okay, so I've got an application password over here. I'm just going to minimize that screen for a second. Okay, and then what I need to do according to the docs is set the WP access token. So where do I store that? Probably in the workflow. Not the biggest fan of putting my access token in a GitHub file that's possibly public. I guess there's no way around it because I'm doing self-hosted. If I was using WordPress.com, I wouldn't have to. The other question is, will this work? Because doesn't this also need... It's going to need the token like base64 or something, because it's the admin password and all of that. Or the username and password. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to using a WordPress.com site. Just for the stream. Just because I don't feel like uploading my application tokens. Okay, I'm just going to take this off screen for a second as well. Because I just want to see what sites I do have. So that's interesting because it's hosted on Pressable. This site actually shows up in my WordPress.com sites. So I might be able to do the whole apps thing. Let's see. Okay, let's see. So DocsPress. I'm gonna take this off screen. I'm gonna have to show you guys what I'm doing. Don't go hacking my site while I'm testing this, eh? Let's see if this will work. Okay, so the redirect URL was this one. I don't know about 7 to 15 is for web. I'm going to make it for myself. Okay, my application has been created. So now where do I get my... I wonder if... Okay. The current helper requests the WordPress global scope, run the exact trusted package version locally and use that to set the token without being printed. Okay, so let's copy that. Secret. I'm probably gonna have to change the URL. Do I need to be inside the repo when I do this? I guess so. Yeah. This kind of secret and actually change this. Where do I get that? Oh, there it is. Oh, you've got it. Oh, you've got to put it in there, I suppose. Probably got to put it in here. Oh no, that's the client. That's the client ID. That's the secret. Oh, okay. So the one downside about doing kind of things like this on a live stream is now you're exposing. It's not what I want. Now I'm exposing all these secrets and people can go and hack that site. Please don't. Let me at least finish testing. So it's that one I need. Okay, and then that's the key. That's the secret. Okay. Okay, that seems to have worked. Okay, okay, so that works. Okay, so it looks like that works. So that's kind of cool. It works on the self-hosted side if it's hosted with Pressable, because Pressable is owned by Automatic. Well, owned by. Not the right terminology is. So that should mean it's authenticated. So now we should be able to. That's been done. Do I need to do this? Guess I need to do this. So I guess this is the secret. Oh. Huh? Oh, I probably need to set it. I need to replace owner. Okay, so it's Jonathan Bossinger. Yep. Okay. Okay, so that works. I do just happen to have the GitHub. I wonder if in the prerequisites it says you need that. GitHub. Okay, so you need to add that. We need to add. Okay. Dude, I hope I'm managing to figure this out. I really do hope that this works. I have no idea. I do think that I'm going to be submitting some suggestions for the documentation after this, because at the moment it's kind of confusing as to what I need to do. Okay, so let's go back here. So we've done that. Now we need to, okay, so first we need to commit the changes. So I've got multiple windows open, but I'm here now. So let's go get status. It's probably just added it's added all of that. Agents, Claude, GitHub, agent skills, lock. I'm happy with all that. Modified, that's fine. So let's go get commit. Let's commit this. DocsPress setup. It's on trunk. Yeah. Okay, I'm just checking the documentation whether it actually talks about like committing the changes. can't remember if I read that somewhere. I'll check the docs and then see if it doesn't, and I'll add that as a comment. Okay, so that's been pushed. That's updated. So now I need to go settings, actions, general for this repository. So settings, actions, general, and then just move this out of there. Workflow permissions allow GitHub Actions to create and approve pull requests. Allow GitHub Actions to create and approve pull requests. Okay. That's done. The workflow's GitHub token creates a proposed response voice. You do not need another dir. Add a safe two-way workflow. Create that with a manual trigger. Sync docs. Didn't that get created? Yeah, there's sync docs. I need to update those. Dang it, forgot to do that. Okay. All right. I haven't even got GitHub. I haven't even got GitHub added. Yeah. Adding actual sync file. Okay. I just want to see. Permissions, content right, pull request right. Now, why wasn't this just created when the first thing got created? Now, do I use this one, or do I use the one I created? I don't know. I guess I use this one, so I'm going to use this one. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's just see what this adds. Docs, workflow dispatch, permissions, content right, pull request right. Is this sync docs to YAML? Is this the same file? Yeah. Concurrency, jobs, sync, users. Using different actions. Not sure which one I'm supposed to use. Okay, let's do this. Which sync docs do I want to use? Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that out. And I'm going to run the workflow from GitHub and see what happens. Whoops. I wonder if I wonder if it'll work if I switch to the other one. Okay, let's switch to the other one. Got this one committed, so it's fine. So let's switch to this. Okay, sync DocsPress documentation. Okay, I'm going to leave that as it is. I'm going to change this. What's that I'm going to change? Let's see if that fixes it. In case you're wondering why I'm doing this when I look at my dock, it's because my microphone is right in front of my dock. It's annoying. Okay, now I don't want Studio up and running. Go away. Okay, let's see what happens now. Still failing on. Invalid parameter status. Okay, let's try it from the command line, the way the documentation suggests it. Let's copy. Probably going to need the second one later. I don't think this is going to make any difference. It's Concilium. Yeah. Let me just copy the other one. Yeah, it says that you can also run it in GitHub. I don't think it's going to make any difference. So let's do that. Let's do that. Oh, we just failed. Yeah, this is failing. I don't know why this is failing. It looks like a node-related error. I look at the messages. So how do I? Let's see here. I'm wondering if the action checkout version uses an older version of Node. So what we could do, let's do this. Let's try something. Let's try something. This. Right. Go back one step. Commits. Okay, so this used these. So let's try these. I think those failed anyway. Okay, let's commit that. I wonder if the agents and the Claude stuff needs to be there as well. I don't think so, because it uses these. So let's see. No, this is still invalid parameter status. Am I using status anyway? Oh, there, status dropped. What happens if I remove that? Okay, let's see what happens. I'm going to just delete all of these others for now. Yeah, just go away. Okay. Okay, let's try it again. What now? Oh, I'm still getting a status parameter error. And I did remove that. Didn't I? Job sync, push contains, yeah, status is not there, so it's not that. So I don't know. Okay. I'm stuck now. I can't test anymore. Let me just copy that out. Invalid parameters sync, invalid parameters status. Sync runs on steps users with, yeah, status is not there. Status has definitely been removed. So I don't know. Okay, well, I don't know why that happened. I guess I'm going to have to find out. So I think I'm going to have to call that a day because I can't really go any further. So what I am going to do is I'm going to delete this application so nobody tries to push anything to my site. And I'm gonna share this feedback with my colleague and try again maybe next week. I also have a whole, yeah, the other thing, the authentication thing. I'm going to put you creating the token. But I think that's what I'm going to call it today, folks. It's only been 52 minutes, but I don't know what else to do to get this working. Actually, there is one more thing I want to do. So there is one more thing. I want to install the agent skills on another repository that doesn't have documentation. So let's check this out. I'm going to do this in my regular terminal, which is the font's a little bit bigger. Where's my mouse gone? CD developer. And then I want to run the agent skills inside of that. I just want to see what kind of documentation it creates. Just curious. I should create docs for AI. That's what I want. So it's the same thing, I think. DocsPress or full depth. Or full depth, yeah. Then generate docs from source. Okay, let's do that. So then let's go to Claude. And then let's give it the prompt. Cannot find things. Is that a problem in my code? Oh, it's probably because I've just checked out the repo. So I haven't installed any of the... Probably should have done that. Does it need that though? Interesting. Seems my screen's gone a bit weird. For some reason my face has gotten small and moved off camera. I don't know if you all are seeing that, but that must have been when I was messing with camera settings. That's annoying. Now I got all big again. OBS and the Elgato camera really drive me up the wall. Don't know when that happened. Strange. Anyway. Okay. Blocked. So it actually needs to install the dependencies before it can create documentation. That's interesting. I guess that kind of makes sense. Looks like it's actually running all the scripts and stuff as well. Okay, here we go. So it's starting to run out some docs. So let's open up that. Oh, interesting. So it actually generates, like there are specific blocks that it uses in the documentation that it creates. I'm not a fan of that because that means that if I'm viewing this, does it work in so this won't work in Markdown. Does that matter, I wonder? Interesting. So like choose a path is sitting inside of a block, which means if I read that in GitHub, I can't read that. I would prefer if it was Markdown and then it somehow converted that to a block on publish. So I'm going to make a note of that. Still running, still creating. Okay. See, this is actually quite an interesting one because something that I used to do when I used to work with Markdown docs is I used to use GitHub's like there was a special GitHub Markdown that I was using. I'm trying to remember now where it is. GitHub Markdown note tip warning. I can't remember what it was called, but there was a whole thing. GitHub flavored Markdown alerts. That's right. That I used to use. There's a link to this somewhere. So it was in a GitHub issue many moons ago, 2022. And so there are 5 types of sort of alerts: note, tip, important, warning. And I used to use these in Markdown and then have to replace them. So okay, here's that data documentation. Oh. Where's it? Alerts, here we go. So it'd be cool if, and I'm not saying this has to use those things, but it'd be cool if stuff like that, stuff like the flow block and things like that could exist in a Markdown format that was readable in Markdown. So like select a WordPress directory, like all of this thing here, you won't see when you render this, but you will when you paste it into blocks. So that's what I'm kind of on about there. Otherwise, the rest looks pretty good. I'd have to read through it properly and take my time and all of that. But otherwise, it looks okay. So I'm going to call it a day there, folks. I'm going to let this finish running. And I'll see what docs it creates. But I want to feed this all back to my colleague let him know about all of these feedback items, which I'll do next week. And then I'll see next week if he's able to make the changes before Friday. I'll see if I can continue this next week. Otherwise, it'll be something else. But I'm going to call it a day. It's just over an hour today. I'm wanting to go off, and I was hoping to get further with the actual push, but we didn't, so that's fine. But that's me for today. I will see you all next week. I hope you have a great rest of your Friday and weekend. Bye.